Welcome to the program. Well, the open letter by former President Olusegun Obasanjo has been gaining a lot of traction and has forced reactions from various quarters. The open endorsement is being perceived as a stain on the chances of the People's Democratic Party and its presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar in 2023. Although the PDP responded to the letter by the former president saying Atiku Abubakar will be president in Obasanjo's lifetime. Now, in what seems like more woes for the PDP, one of the aggrieved governors in the party has also backed the endorsement of Peter Obi by the former president. Benue State Governor Samuel Ortom, while commenting on the development, said if he were not a member of the PDP, he would have personally led Obi's campaign across the country. According to Governor Ortom, he is convinced that Obi possesses the qualities of a leader who will be a true president of this country by guaranteeing justice, equity, and fairness for all Nigerians. Well, joining me in the studio now is the National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Debo Ologunagba. He's also a lawyer and former member of the House of Representatives. So good to have you again. And how's the political front like?
Happy New Year, sir.
Yes, Happy New Year.
Interesting, like I would say.
Just a few weeks to the much-awaited 2023 election.
Right.
All right. So what's been your reaction to one of your governors actually supporting the endorsement by former President Olusegun Obasanjo, who was also from your own party, of Labour Party's presidential candidate, Peter Obi? How are you taking it?
Thank you very much. And I guess again, to Nigerians, Happy New Year. Hope is a superpower. The hope is there. 2023 is there. We're counting down to the monumental mistral of the APC. So we are on hope. And the PDP and Atiku Abubakar represent that hope for Nigeria. Now,
I hope it's not the hope renewed.
We're very
like
careful.
The APC is saying.
We don't do plagiarism. There are some reporting that says about that was a copycat from the Hope 83 of the late MQ, 93 of MQ Abiola. I mean, for us, this is hope that is real, that is palpable, that you can touch, that you can feel. Now back to the season. We're in the season of endorsement and non-endorsement. And for us, I have always established this, that the PDP is the only democratic party in this country because it is organic, it has a process, it has its rules, it has its operations, has its principles, has its policies, has manifestos, and of course, above all, it has its constitution. You just made a reference to an alleged endorsement.
Well, it's no longer an allegation because Arise News got in touch with the governor's media aides, and they confirmed that Governor Ortom uttered that statement through his media aide.
Absolutely. So again, we can have a connection. There's a nexus now, which is okay. But because we don't react to situations, we respond. Because that's what organic institutions do. You study, you ensure, you confirm, you verify, and then you allow your process to go. Let me put it on the background. Because we're a party of process and of constitution, every member of this party, and I need to emphasize this, every member of this party, and particularly in this case, Governor Ortom of Benue State, who we consider to be a leader in this party, because he's still a member of this party, hasn't said otherwise. Every member has a responsibility and a duty, particularly if you subscribe to that constitution, which Governor Ortom has subscribed to. And when you subscribe to a constitution, you are bound by the provisions of that constitution. If there are actions that are inconsistent with that constitution, then that constitution and whatever might be the outcome will kick in. So as a party, we'll take it, we'll study it, and like we always do on issues like this, we'll respond. And of course, the party will respond as appropriate in line with the constitution. And so I'll leave it at that for now.
Well, he said that if he were not in the People's Democratic Party, I mean, that's when he would have gone around to campaign for Peter Obi, but that he's still bound by the People's Democratic Party. That's why he can't go around to campaign openly for him, but he's endorsing, he's supporting Obasanjo's endorsement. What does that mean in the world of PDP?
Again, when you put this in semantics, is he saying, I'm endorsing this person, or I'm supporting an endorsement? Is seconding, like we say in the parliament, when you move a motion, somebody seconds it. The seconder cannot be the mover of the motion. He just say, okay, I agree. So let us hear that. And like I said, we will not react. We will respond because we're responsible. And you can see those body language even from our presidential candidate. In all of this, it's above the fray. It's not okay to just be president, you must be presidential. And that's what Atiku Abubakar has represented. And we need that steady hand, a calm human being, a man who does not react, a man who is not loud. And I can just reference to Desiderata. He said, avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexatious to the spirit. You know that he's not vexatious to the spirit. He's a calm individual, a steady hand, tested, with relevant experience. The fact that you can drive a car doesn't mean you can drive a trailer or a caterpillar. So we must put this in perspective. In any event, this is key. The PDP goes after the endorsement of the Nigerian people.
Yeah, that's what you said that in your statement. Yeah. But a lot of Nigerians want to know, is Governor Samuel Ortom in big trouble with the PDP, having, endorsed the candidate of another party when there's a presidential candidate in your own party?
I just said something, Somna, and I think we should put it in that order. We have said, when you are a member of a political party, or any organization for that matter, that has constitution, there are obligations and duties upon you.
Will the PDP make an example of Governor Ortom?
It's not about making an example.
To show the remaining 4 members of the G5 governors.
Again, that's reactive. This PDP will study the situation, apply the constitutional provisions of this constitution that Governor Ortom has subscribed to uphold. And if there are infractions are determined from within our processes, of course, the constitutional provisions will kick in.
But let me ask you this.
We are a party of order, of principle, of policy, of processes, and of course, of the Constitution.
Some people have been telling me that if it were during the time of then President Olusegun Obasanjo and a governor who is serving, who is holding the flag of the PDP decides to take this sort of decision, that he will not wake up as governor the next day. Again, what do you make to such
kind of we're democratic. This is a party that is built on democratic principles, and there are processes. We recognize the need for time, for action timelessly, but we cannot sacrifice process to that. Like I said, and I will re-emphasize that, the circumstances of all this conversation, even with the alleged confirmation by IRS, I don't doubt your capacity to confirm. That's what you do.
Yes, we did that. Yeah, I spoke and I confirmed on behalf of Arise News as director of news if that statement was authored by the Benue State government under Samuel Ortom. And of course,
we will raise that on this. At this time, we will look at that and we thank you for this confirmation, and it's important for us. But as a party, we're going to stick with our constitution. We're going to apply the constitution, and anybody, and I put the word in underline, anybody should know that when you have subscribed to provisions of a constitution like a party, you must be bound by that. And embedded in that is the fact that there are duties, there are obligations, and there are responsibilities. And we consider that our governors and every member, leaders, every member of a party are responsible enough to understand that duty that is placed upon them.
And Governor Nyesom Wike, is saying that there's nothing the PDP can do. The PDP will get into much more bigger trouble if it decides to touch any of the G5 governors. How daring can these governors be to, your party?
Again, like I said to you, we don't react. We're not impulsive. That's not to say that it's impulsive. However, the constitution of this party is supreme. Look, Governor Wike, as a leader of this party, we respect his concerns, we respect his person, but there are code of conduct available to every member of a political party or any association for that matter. And we would hope that our leaders, our governors, our members will be conscious of that responsibility. And we have no doubt. We believe that they will be back to this party. They know it. He said this, and I quote him, paraphrasing. At the convention that brought at the elective convention that when he contested as an aspirant for the office of the president, he said, to the effect that he is a party man. And I said this, at least I remember that I said, I will not leave this party. I will do everything I can for this party. If I win today or tonight, I expect people to support me. But whoever wins tonight, I will support with everything I have. He said that. And Atiku Abubakar won that contest. I have no reason to now to doubt that he will not keep his word. Because he had always said, when I say something, I do it. He said that he should do it. He should support the party. And by the way, in this party, just as he has contributed to the party, he has benefited immensely from this party. And therefore, there are moral obligations even on him as a person, with all due respect to him. Because it's a man that I respect. But I know that the tail does not wag the dog. It is the dog that wags the tail. And there's no individual, no matter how powerful, no matter how powerful it might seem to be, that should be able to overtake an institution.
And there are talks that the National Working Committee of the PDP is beginning to deal with some of these aggrieved governors subtly. And can you confirm to us that some of the lists that they submitted for polling agents were changed at the last minute by the National Working Committee led by Senator Iyorchia Ayu, and that because of that, they too have decided to pay back the party in their own terms, because the polling agents that they submitted were not the ones submitted by the PDP National Working Committee and the presidential campaign of the PDP on December 30th, when INEC had placed as deadline.
Yes, again, what is important, and I think is clear to this, in a situation like this, you find allegation and counter-allegation coming up. I can't speak to the specificity of those issues that you just raised. However, what I know is that this party goes along with its process and procedures. I need them to challenge them to say to me which names were actually changed. Because, in a moment like this, it is very, very interesting to throw banters and say things that may not be correct, particularly in this situation. But I do know this. Every member, every leader of this party, including the governors, has an obligation for this party to do well in the elections. And they must contribute their quota. We hope they will, and they should, not only for the party, but for Nigeria, because Governor Ortom at one point said that Nigeria is sick, and all hands must be on deck, including him as a major stakeholder in it. We hope that he will do that which is right. Look, reconciliation is a two-way street. If I'm going to speak to you, if I'm going to negotiate with you, I must be willing to negotiate with you on the basis of the fact that, you know what, you get some, you win some, and win some, and then we both win together. But when you put a person on this or nothing, then you have said there's no negotiation. But we believe in negotiation. We believe in reconciliation. We're going on with the processes. We believe that the organs of the party that are embedded in the constitution are working. And like I always say to you, I won't come here and discuss whatever we're doing behind the scene with you. All you need to know and want to hear as Nigeria and represent the Nigerian people as the fourth state of the realm is to ensure that any political party, particularly PDP, that is connected with the people in the 774 local government in this country, you need to know, because the people must know whether indeed this party is there to...
Yeah, but what does it look like Atiku Abubakar seems to be losing ground? And I mean, here's his former boss, not endorsing him. And then you see other statesmen here and there endorsing the Peter Obi. I mean, is Atiku not fighting to be endorsed by others? Or is he towing the part of Chelsea and his council that he could actually go to a Gawad or a Babangida or an Abdul Salami to get his own endorsement if an Obasanjo, who is his former boss, is not endorsing him?
No, seriously, I think we should talk about this issue of endorsement. And I put it this way, my brother. I said from the beginning of this program that they were in the season of endorsement and on-endorsement, if that's in English word like that, or non-endorsement.
Well, you can manufacture it yourself.
Yeah. But having said that, the PDP and Atiku Abubakar, we're not looking at individual endorsement. We're looking at the endorsement of the Nigerian people.
And what does that mean?
And
how do you intend to get that?
It's already there. Just look no further than the last 1 year. One, the Nigerian people have already endorsed the PDP and its candidate. How? In Abuja municipal elections, we won all, including the seat of government. That's an endorsement. In Osun State, we won the governorship election there. That's an endorsement by the people, not by an individual. We won the by-election in Cross River State, federal state. That's an endorsement. We won in Plateau State. That's an endorsement. Those are the endorsements that matters.
And the APC says it's because it has created a fertile ground for such to actually happen. I mean, President Buhari has offered free, fair, and credible election. He has allowed institutions to work the way they are working. That during your own time as the PDP, it will have been pretty difficult for, a governing party.
Again, I don't want to join in
elections.
Again,
like
sometimes when you have selective amnesia, it might be condoned in political time. But we're in this country. When late President Shehu Musa Yar'Adua considered
Umaru Musa Yar'Adua,
considered Edo State, considered Ondo State. Was the APC sleeping then, or they're not here? We actually created the records of saying, you know what? The people have spoken. We want to listen to them. Because you must listen to those people. So now the endorsement that we're seeking and that we're getting daily is from the Nigerian people that are going to vote. President Obasanjo or any other person has just one vote. All right? And that it is a principle of one man, one vote that is important. What weight you put to that for us will be personal. But for us as a party, for our candidate Atiku Abubakar, the Waziri Adamawa, the next president of this country by the grace of the Almighty and by the endorsement of the Nigerian people, Atiku Abubakar will be president.
What gives you that confidence? Because when you see people like Edwin Clark, elder statesmen endorsing Peter Obi, saying that, look, in Obasanjo's letter he had written and said that young people should take back their country.
Exactly.
And I want to know, is the PDP courting the young people? Because, almost everyone seems to be saying that looks like these young people are romancing the Labour Party just like the elders are telling them to do at the moment.
We recognize the power of the youth. And we don't just mouth it. We're not sloganeering. You will recall that in the leadership of any party in this country today, we have a 26-year-old young man as the head of the youth. What does it mean? We recognize the power and the energy of the youth and the need for us to have what we call the transition to the youth. It's not just enough to write a letter and say, take it. You must give the process for them to take it. Today, at the NWC, that young man participates in decision making at the highest level of the party. And when issues relating to young people have been said, he's at the table.
Yeah, but it looks like the PDP is not resonating with younger people. I mean,
I like the
when
word.
you look at what's going on
No,
the streets and all of that.
I like the word. It looks like that's your appearance to you. But I tell you this. There are no polling stations on the internet. They are not on social media. Polling stations are not on social media. They are with the people. And that's where you can see. Again, look at all our campaigns. You could see the enthusiasm of young people, knowing fully well that Atiku Abubakar represents the hope because of his credible credential. You will recall that under the President Obasanjo Atiku presidency, Atiku was the chairman of the National Economic Council. That was the engine room for all that we saw in terms of development. We saw the consolidation in the banking industry that allowed our banks to begin to participate in the global business.
Economy.
In the economy. You saw the increase in the stock market.
And that's why a lot of people are surprised that an Obasanjo who had benefited 2 terms, yes, I mean, from the same PDP will go out of the way of the party to actually endorse someone else. And some have counseled, like Professor Bolaji Akiyemi, I mean, he should just remain a statesman rather than, doing what he has done. But I want to ask.
I can't say more than what Professor Akiyemi has said, and I'm not going to join issue on that. We know people have their preferences. We can't quarrel with that. You respect the status of President Obasanjo. He's a statesman, he's known worldwide. But I say to you, we go to where the votes are, the people of Nigeria. From our campaigns, you can see that. They're evident. We've gone to every zone in this country. We're in the 774 local government. We know that when you bring the issue that Atiku Abubakar has put on the table, decentralization, restructuring, you need the National Assembly as a partner. Today, he has a draft bill for that. Again, how can anybody be ready more than that? You need a president who's going to be ready, who has the experience, who has capacity, who has the strength.
Well, that same person you're talking about has not been endorsed by his former boss.
Again, like I said, what is the value of an endorsement? I don't want to talk about that. Okay. But the endorsement is the people.
Okay, very quickly, Debo Ologunagba, before I let you go, how much of a threat do you think the Labour Party and its presidential candidate Peter Obi is to the PDP? I mean, for us as a nation to be seeing some of these elder statesmen go in for an endorsement of Peter Obi rather than maybe an APC that some people would have said. I mean, it looks like it's tending towards something else that a lot of people are confused about. Is Obi really a threat to an Atiku Abubakar?
We respect the candidature of Peter Obi. It's on the ballot. But you see, what we try to do is to guide our thought process to the Nigerian people. Right? An endorsement by an individual doesn't make you a president. Or non-endorsement, as the case may be. Look, we're focused on the Nigerian people that matters. Look, the issues on this election, it's not about endorsement. It's about the kitchen table issues. Where were we in 2015? And where are we now?
And that's what Nigerians are saying, that why should they trust you with power again when previously, I mean, the PDP got corrupted by the power, but it was holding as a government party in Nigeria.
I'm sure we must be able to put it in perspective. If you're talking about corruption, then look no further than the APC. I don't want to go there. That'll be another matter someday. But I say to you, what are the statistics? It's not about what I say. In 2015, the bag of fries was 7,500. Christmas 2014 was exciting. Compared to Christmas 2022, you just came back from one. We knew. A bag of rice was 45,000 naira. So you tell me how many people. Those are the kitchen table issues.
And yet, you see the APC going around some of the states that have the highest number of votes. I mean, one of the major contenders that will be giving you a good fight for your money is Bola Tinubu of the APC. And you see him in Kano today. You see clerics, lots of people, I mean, mobilizing groups here and there. Isn't the PDP afraid that Tinubu will be, sweep the rug off the feet of the party?
You just mentioned Kano and refuse to mention Castina. Well, I mean, because you see, these are issues. We haven't been to Kano. In any event, when the former governor of Kano, Shekarau, joined the PDP, you saw it. Your reporters were there. You saw what happened. The people that own Kano and the people are the people who have been close to them. Shekarau is one of them. He has been governor. He refers to as a Malam. The Malam means local people, that he connected with people. That is the strength of PDP. But it's not about the endorsement. It's about where the endorsement is coming from. Our endorsement is in the Nigerian people whose hope is key to PDP, and they're already accepting it because our messaging has been resonating. That's why you saw the statistics of all the winnings we've been having, even in Abuja. That tells you that the PDP is the only party, and for the experience, they can remember when it was 7,500, and when the unemployment was 7%. They remember that the PDP paid up 30 billion of debt. Today we are on 42 trillion.
Yeah, and the APC will also tell you that they are very strong on infrastructure. You promised Nigerian trains, yes, and they didn't see the trains.
But that's not correct, because
the railways.
No, because we have never started that conversation, because
and then they have the second Niger bridge and some other infrastructures like dams and all of that.
The continuum, but again, tell me one project that APC has started and completed. The Kaduna-Abuja rail was started by PDP. The Ibadan Lagos was started by PDP. All the structures are on ground. It is wrong for anybody to say that they are infrastructure. Infrastructure at what cost? At what cost? When you have the next 3 generations paying the debt because of massive corruption and irresponsibility of APC. We don't want to talk about that. I think Nigerians are happy and they're even sigh of relief.
Yeah, and I will ask you, I won't let you go without talking about the ways and means of the Buhari-led federal government. The monies that the CBN has been printing for the APC-led federal government. Yes. I mean, why is the PDP not saying anything about that?
We have said several things before that. Probably you are not listening to us. Just like, and I'm not, you're not in that category. This is a deaf and possibly sometimes dumb government. And you know that. When this process started, you recall when we said the CBN is a wholesale banker, they have no business into retail banking. They were doing anchor borrowing scheme. What is the outcome? And they came to deceive us because, you see, they came with the pyramid of lie, what they call pyramid of rice. If there was indeed pyramid of rice as this claim from their agri intervention, then we should have seen that effect at Christmas.
Yeah, but a lot of people are wondering where the opposition, the main opposition party in the country was, that an APC-led federal government was borrowing about 22 trillion
from the CBN.
And now even the National Assembly is so angry.
Because,
I mean, the senators are saying that,
look, well, I don't want to say,
it will take a lot for us to be able to put our stamp to this.
I'm a product of the National Assembly, so it will not be too comfortable to say easy about that. But however, the 9th Assembly will go down in history to be one of the most clueless and possibly insensitive assembly for the Nigerian people.
And that includes your members who are senators and House of Representatives.
Because each time, you remember even the electoral act amendment. It took members of the opposition led by the PDP to walk out before the president signed it. And those are the efforts we made. We requested initially for the resignation of the Governor of Central Bank when he actually violated the constitution, the statute of the CBN by showing interest in politics, where a lone voice is seen to a deaf and insensitive government. But the good thing is this, which is hope on the way. We're counting days, not months anymore, and the Nigerian people are looking up to PDP as the hope of the people, and we're just waiting.
And just before
we want to take it back.
How convinced are you that the PDP is going to win this election? What are the indices you've seen, Honorable Debo Ologunagba, that the PDP will be entrusted with power by the Nigerian people, and not the Labour Party or the NNPP or
if
the APC?
The statistics have been read out here, it's anything to go by. The endorsement that started since last year. This endorsement didn't just start now, not by a letter. It started by the people. Hearing our messaging, recognizing what we've done before, believing our capacity. Now looking at our president and say, yes, this man was here. He knows this thing. He knows the security challenges. He's a unifier. He's been here before. He knows the economy. He was chairman of the National Economic Council for the PDP at the time. When Nigeria could be the glorious days of our improvement in terms of making steps. So for us, we're okay. But I guarantee you, the reason for the optimism that already any party worth its salt should have a SWOT analysis We do that. We have a back check. We check. We find out the connections we have. And you see that the APC, every day, they dine by installment because it's an SPV. They're into liquidation. Only today.
All right. Well, you are
Ambassador Ibeto just left the party.
Okay,
so
that's the former deputy governor of Niger State. Yeah, well, it's left for Nigerians to actually see if they can still entrust the PDP with power. But the Labour Party is waxing very strong with endorsements from several quarters here and there. And of course, the NMPP is there. And of
our
course,
endorsement is in the people, not in the letter.
The big APC is there. Well, we must thank you so much, Honorable Debo Ologunagba. He's the National Publicity Secretary of the main opposition People's Democratic Party in Nigeria. And of course, he is a lawyer and former member of the House of Representatives.